Awaken, O chosen ones. Have you ever paused and asked yourself why your life is filled with unimaginable challenges? Why does betrayal, shame, and cruelty seem to follow you at every turn? Why does the weight of this world press so heavily upon your shoulders? Could it be that the pain you've endured is not a series of random events? Perhaps it is a deliberate effort to crush something extraordinary within you before it can take root. This is the truth. Though it may confuse you, hurt you, your pain is not merely yours alone. Every tear, every moment of heartbreak, every attempt to break your spirit is part of a grand design to destroy you before the world ever sees your shining light. History has proven that the brightest stars are born from the deepest darkness. Think of Harriet Tubman, hunted like an animal, yet becoming the beacon of freedom. Recall Nikola Tesla, mocked and rejected, yet laying the foundations for technologies that would forever change humanity. Or Van Gogh, whose genius went unrecognized in his lifetime, yet whose name now echoes through the ages. Their journey began with suffering, rejection, and pain, but it was those very trials that forged and refined their greatness. Could this be true for you? Could your wounds not be the end of your story, but the birthplace of an unstoppable force waiting to burst forth? If this resonates with your soul, pause for a moment. Leave a message saying 7077 below, as a declaration of your awakening, honoring those who have supported this mission through their great contributions. Know that your kindness is invaluable. It is your generosity that has allowed these messages to reach and uplift millions walking a similar path. You are truly part of this transformation, but this is where the story begins to take another turn. What has happened to you is not a beautiful poem. It is not a sacred ritual of growth. It is something vile, calculated, and truth be told, an unbelievable sickness. They wanted to see you disappear before you could realize who you really are. But despite everything, you still stand there, perhaps scarred, but undefeated, broken in a few places, but with a strength that defies explanation. And ironically, in their twisted efforts to destroy you, they have inadvertently given you what they fear most, a story so powerful that it will make you unstoppable. Let us go deeper. Let us explore the meaning behind this pain, the purpose behind their attempts to extinguish your light, and the sacred plan that has kept you standing. For the truth is, the chosen ones. What you've been through has not been in vain. It is time to understand why and to claim the greatness they tried to bury in you. Those chosen by the divine. Your story will make you famous. What they did to you was an unbelievable sickness. To be chosen is a paradox, a riddle that few can truly understand from the outside. To be chosen may seem like an invitation to a life of fame, wealth, and easy glory. It appears to be the fulfillment of a divine promise, a path paved with endless blessings. But the truth is, it is not like that at all. The journey of the chosen ones is not adorned with ease, but rather with struggle, loneliness, and pain that few can comprehend. Those who look at you today and admire your strength, resilience, or success, they do not know the dark roads that led you here. They do not know of the nights you cried alone, when the weight of betrayal made you doubt the sincerity of those around you, or when you wondered if your worth even existed. What makes you chosen is not the moment you rise, but the journey that broke you and rebuilt you. It is survival. When the world seems designed to crush you, it is not about being the strongest or the most talented, but about enduring what is unimaginable and rising from the ruins. And there, you stand, unshaken, still holding on to hope. Have you ever wondered why you've had to endure so much? Why the trials you face feel so uniquely personal, as if the world is singling you out? Have you ever asked yourself if there is something greater than you at work in your life? Think of the story of Job in the Bible. Job was chosen not because he was perfect, but because he was willing to endure unimaginable suffering. In Job chapter 121, after losing everything, Job says, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." His trials were not random. They were part of a greater plan. And though he was tested beyond measure, Job's faithfulness and endurance led him to a reward far beyond what he had lost. Could your story be following a similar path? The road you walk may feel lonely. Yes, it is imbued with a purpose far deeper than you can yet understand. Even those who love you may not fully grasp the weight of your journey. They may not understand why things unfold the way they do. Some may call you unlucky, cursed, or erratic. But you know the truth that lies beneath. You feel the presence of something greater at work, pushing you through trials that others cannot even begin to fathom. Do you sense that the universe is preparing you for something far more extraordinary? The path may be long, and at times it may seem endless, but the destination is far greater than you can currently see. You are being shaped, refined, and strengthened for something monumental if you can survive long enough to witness it. The most devastating battles are the ones fought in silence, the ones where no one else can see the war raging within. What was done to you wasn't simply a series of cruel actions. It was a covert war waged against your mind, your spirit, and your very sense of self. There were no visible weapons, no bruises or marks to show the damage. Yet the wounds you carried were just as real, perhaps even more painful than any physical injury. This invisible warfare is a kind of pain that others cannot understand because they cannot see it. They don't know how deep it cuts or how it lingers silently, reshaping every part of who you are. It was never about physical harm. The true aim was far more sinister, to break you in a way that left you alive but hollow, to leave you questioning your own worth day after day. Every harsh word, every manipulation, every betrayal wasn't a random act. They were calculated strikes, designed to sow seeds of self-doubt. Have you ever wondered why you couldn't simply get over it? Why, even when the world saw no reason to be upset, the weight of your struggles felt unbearable? Have you ever found yourself blaming yourself for things you didn't cause? Wondering why this invisible burden won't lift? It's a cruel kind of warfare because it doesn't show on the outside. You carried on with your day, smiling, pretending everything was fine, while inside, you fought a battle no one could see. People may have even admired your strength, assuming you were fine because you didn't crumble in front of them. But inside, it felt like you were slowly unraveling, piece by piece. Your energy, your confidence drained away. This sickness, this invisible war wasn't just meant to hurt you. It was meant to control you. It was designed to make you believe you were small, weak, powerless, and incapable of escaping. But here is the truth. They underestimated you. You were stronger than they realized. Despite the overwhelming pain, the whispers of doubt they planted in your mind, you are still here. And the fact that you survived, that you are still standing, proves that their attacks were never truly victorious. Think of the story of Joseph in the Bible. His brothers betrayed him, threw him into a pit, and sold him into slavery. In his darkest moments, he could have easily given up, letting the cruelty of his circumstances define him. But instead, he endured. He rose from the ashes, becoming a leader who would save nations. This is your moment. Just as Joseph found his purpose through suffering, so too will you find yours. The silent wars you've fought have not been in vain. They have been preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Your resilience, your strength, your unwavering hope are the keys to a destiny that will unfold in time. You are not just surviving, you are being forged into something extraordinary. And one day, when you look back on these trials, you will understand that they were the very fire that shaped you into the person you are meant to become. Keep walking, even when it feels impossible. The best is yet to come. But he didn't. He kept his faith, he kept his strength, and ultimately he rose to power in Egypt, saving countless lives. Joseph's story is a testament to the strength that remains when everything around you is designed to break you. Could it be that your struggles are leading you to a greater purpose? Even if that battle has been fought in secret, you have endured a war that others can't see. The fact that you've made it this far shows that you are more than they ever realized. Your story is not over yet. In fact, it may just be beginning. Envy is a quiet, corrosive force, often hidden behind Smith's casual conversations and even seemingly well-meaning concern, but underneath it festers, slowly eating away at the heart of those who harbor it. Much of what was done to you, the betrayals, the manipulations, the cruelty was not random. It was driven by envy, a sickness that pushes people to destroy what they cannot possess or become. They saw something in you, something they lacked but desperately yearned for. It could have been your strength, your light, or even the potential they sensed within you. Whatever it was, it made them feel small in comparison. Have you ever wondered why people who should have supported you instead sought to tear you down? Could envy be the true force behind their actions? Envy doesn't reveal itself directly. It wears many disguises: criticism, sabotage, or even the false cloak of help. They might have told you that you weren't good enough, that you'd never amount to anything, or that your dreams were unrealistic. But these words were not rooted in truth. They were born from their inability to stand, seeing you rise. Your success reminded them of their own shortcomings, their own insecurities, and the dreams they never dared to pursue. How often have you faced this subtle attack? When someone told you your dreams were too big or that you were aiming too high. Those words weren't just words. They were a reflection of their inner turmoil. They needed to pull you down so they could feel better about their own limitations. The most twisted part of this is how deeply personal it feels. Their actions weren't just aimed at your accomplishments. They were an attack on who you are at your core. They wanted to make you doubt yourself. They sought to dim your light so they could feel more comfortable in their own shadows. For a while, maybe it worked. Maybe you started to question your worth, shrink yourself, or try to fit into a mold that didn't make others uncomfortable. You might have even felt guilty for standing out or for not meeting the expectations they set for you. But here's the painful irony: envy destroys the person who carries it far more than it ever harms the one it targets. Do you ever wonder why they seem so empty despite their efforts to tear you down? Could it be that the very envy they harbor is slowly consuming them? They were so focused on breaking you. They never realized the truth. You were never their competition. You were simply a living example of what's possible. You weren't a threat to them. You were a reminder of what they never dared to believe for themselves. Think of Cain and Abel in the Bible. Cain's envy toward his brother Abel led to his downfall in Genesis 4:5. Cain became angry because God accepted Abel's offering, but not his own. His jealousy drove him to commit an unspeakable act. Envy poisoned his heart, and instead of transforming his own life, it led to destruction. In Genesis 4:6-7, the Lord speaks to Cain. Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. Cain's inability to overcome his jealousy led him to a tragic decision. This story serves as a stark reminder of how envy can spiral into ruin if not addressed. Additionally, consider the story of King Saul and David. Saul's envy of David's growing popularity eventually led him to attempt to take David's life. Despite David's innocence, Saul couldn't bear the thought of someone else rising to prominence. In 1 Samuel 18:8-9 we read, Saul was very angry. This refrain galled him. They have credited David with tens of thousands. He thought, but me with only thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom? From that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David. This same envy, this same destructive force, has tried to creep into your life, hasn't it? It has whispered in the ears of those around you, turning them against you, filling their hearts with resentment over your potential. But take heart, for this envy is not the end of your story. Like Joseph, you will rise. Like David, you will stand tall, your spirit unbroken, even in the face of their jealousy. Envy may try to poison the hearts of others, but it will never break you. Instead, it will propel you toward the greatness you were destined for. Remember, you are not the one with something to prove. The envy of others is merely a reflection of their own insecurities. You are the light they fear. Keep shining. Keep standing strong. The victory is already yours. Saul's envy blinded him to David's integrity and to God's plan. His obsession with David's success ultimately destroyed him. In the end, the very envy that tried to break you will be the thing that consumes them. They will never understand that you were never their rival. You were a testament to the heights they could have reached if they had only believed in themselves. The battle was never about you versus them. It was always about them facing their own fears and insecurities. And you. You are simply the proof that greatness is possible for anyone who dares to believe, as Proverbs 14:30 reminds us. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. The universe has a strange way of selecting its strongest warriors, your trials. No matter how cruel or senseless they may seem, are not arbitrary. They are deliberate, carefully designed like a blacksmith's hammer striking steel, transforming it into something unbreakable. However, let's be clear. This is not some glorified notion of suffering or hardship. The process is raw, brutal, and often feels entirely unjust. The universe does not approach the task of testing your worthiness with kindness. It strips you down to your most vulnerable state, leaving only the pure essence of who you are. Have you ever wondered why life can feel so unfair at times? Why, despite your efforts? The challenges keep coming. These trials are not meant to punish you, but to prepare you. Greatness demands great strength, and that strength is not granted besought. It is forged in the furnace of adversity. The suffering you endure is like a fire burning away the superficial layers of who you thought you were, forcing you to face the raw, unfiltered version of yourself when everything you once relied on is stripped away. Who are you? What do you stand for when there's nothing left to hold on to? These are the questions the universe is asking, pushing you to answer in the most challenging of ways. How do you respond when the world seems to be against you, and all you have left is your faith? Think of the story of Moses in the Bible. Moses was called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, but before he could take on this monumental role, he had to endure years of hardship. He fled from Egypt, lived in exile, and faced countless challenges. Those years in the wilderness were not punishment. They were preparation. God used those years to refine Moses, to teach him, to trust him fully, and to prepare him for the immense responsibility ahead. In Exodus 3:10-12, God says to Moses, "So now, go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" And God said, "I will be with you." The trials you face, no matter how difficult, are never in vain. They are shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for what lies ahead. So hold on. Chosen one. The journey is not easy, but the destination will be worth everything you've endured. You are being prepared for something greater than you could ever imagine. Keep moving forward, for the universe is on your side, and greatness awaits you. Moses eventually stepped into his divine purpose. Despite his initial doubts and fears, a purpose that would have been impossible had he not endured the trials that shaped him. Could it be that your struggles are preparing you for something even greater than you can imagine? The truth is, you probably didn't volunteer for this journey. No one asks for hardship, especially not in ways that seem to break your spirit, but for reasons you may not fully understand yet. You were chosen. The universe saw something in you, an innate potential, a light within you, or an ability to rise above the cave that would break most others. And here's the hardest truth: not everyone survives these tests. Some get caught in the pain, unable to see beyond it, and they never make it through. But if you are still here, still standing, still fighting, then you are proving your worthiness not to anyone else, but to yourself and to the universe that placed you on this path. As James 1:12 says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial." You are blessed. You are being molded into something greater than you've ever imagined. Keep going, chosen one. Your reward is coming, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. When the time comes for you to step into your extraordinary role, you will understand why the fire was necessary. The very challenges that once seemed like an overwhelming weight will reveal themselves as the tools that forged your strength. The trials you endured weren't meant to break you. They were meant to shape you into someone capable of achieving the incredible things that lie ahead. Do you see the strength that has already been built within you? Even in the midst of your struggles, your resilience, your faith, your perseverance. They are the evidence that you were never meant to fail. You were meant to rise. One of the most insidious tactics the world uses to keep you small is gaslighting your greatness. It starts early, often from those you expect to support you: family, friends, even teachers. These people, the ones you trust, may tell you to stay humble or to be realistic. At first, it seems like good advice, but what they're really doing is trying to keep you within the boundaries of what they can comprehend. Your potential, your dreams, even your mere presence unsettles them, so they convince you that it doesn't even exist. Have you ever felt like your dreams were too big for those around you to understand? Could it be that their discomfort stems from their inability to see what you're truly capable of? Society plays its part in this too. It rewards conformity and punishes those who dare to be different. The world doesn't appreciate those who refuse to fit into its narrow molds. those who challenge the status quo. When you begin to show signs of something more, whether through your talents, your ideas, or your unyielding resilience. The world moves quickly to label you as arrogant, difficult, or even delusional. It's not that you are wrong for believing in yourself. It's that your belief in your greatness disrupts the systems that prefer things to stay the same. Think of the story of David and Goliath. David, a young shepherd boy, was labeled by others as unworthy, unfit for battle, but he stepped forward anyway, armed only with his faith and his courage. In 1 Samuel 17:45, David says, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." His belief in his own potential, despite how others viewed him, led him to victory. Can you relate to that feeling of standing firm in your belief, even when the world seems determined to tell you otherwise? The most dangerous part of this gaslighting is how convincing it can be. Over time, you may start to internalize their doubts, their criticism. You might begin to question yourself, your worth, your dreams. But remember, these doubts are not your truth. They are merely the reflections of a world too fearful to believe in the greatness they see in you. Hold fast to your light. Stand strong in your belief. You are not meant to shrink. You are meant to rise and shine brighter than ever before. The path may be tough, but every step you take brings you closer to your destiny. A destiny that is yours and yours alone to claim. The world may try to convince you that your light is too much, but know this: your light is what will change the world. Keep shining. Keep rising. You are exactly who the world needs. You might find yourself questioning your abilities, shrinking your dreams, or staying silent when you should be speaking up. You might tell yourself you are just like everyone else, even when everything inside you is telling you that you are not. Do you ever have moments when you doubt yourself? When the noise of others clouds your inner truth? Those are the moments when the world tries to keep you small, to make you believe that you don't deserve more. But deep down, you know the truth. You feel it in the stillness, in the moments when everything quiets down, and you are left alone with your thoughts. That truth, the one buried deep within you, is that you are not like everyone else. You were not made to be ordinary. You were made for greatness, and it is time to stop dimming your light to make others feel comfortable. The journey ahead is not for the faint-hearted. It is for those who are willing to fight for what they know they are destined for. So stand tall. Keep your head high. The world may not understand you now, but in time, it will. And when you step into the fullness of your purpose, when you rise to claim the crown that awaits you, you will know that every trial, every doubt, every moment of suffering was the very thing that prepared you for this moment. Rise, chosen one, it's your time. That spark of greatness, the one they tried to bury, is still there. It hasn't gone away. It's just been overshadowed by the doubts they imposed on you. Here's the reality: the world doesn't gaslight what isn't a threat. They wouldn't go to such lengths to make you question your potential if there wasn't something truly remarkable about you. If you weren't destined for something extraordinary, they wouldn't work so hard to make you doubt your worth. As Jesus said in Matthew 5:14-16, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." The world tries to dim your light, but the truth is that light will never be extinguished. The sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you embrace the greatness that's within you, the sooner you will become unstoppable. And that is exactly what they fear. The moment you realize your true power, when nothing can hold you back, is the moment everything changes. Nothing in this world will ever stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. What you endured wasn't just cruelty. It was a direct attack on the very essence of your humanity. It went beyond physical pain or emotional manipulation. The purpose behind it was far darker: to strip you of your dignity, to make you feel less than human, to disconnect you from your sense of self and your connection to the world around you. It wasn't enough for them to harm you. They wanted to hollow you out, to break you down so thoroughly that you would be left as nothing more than a shell of the person you once were. Have you ever wondered why the cruelty you faced felt so personal, so designed to leave a permanent mark on your soul? Could it be that their intent wasn't just to hurt you, but to erase you entirely? This is what makes their actions a sickness beyond belief. True cruelty doesn't stop at mere harm. It seeks to obliterate. They didn't just target your confidence or your happiness. They aimed at your very identity. They wanted you to forget who you were, to disconnect from your inherent worth, to question whether you even deserve to exist. It shows in the way they dismissed your pain, treated you as if your voice didn't matter, as if your existence was of no consequence. This kind of treatment seeks to make you invisible, to reduce your being to something insignificant. Have you ever felt like the world ignored your pain, as if no one saw or cared about what you were going through? That's when dehumanization begins, when others attempt to convince you that you are nothing more than a shadow. Over time, this kind of dehumanization seeps into your mind. You start to see yourself the way they wanted you to: small, powerless, and unworthy. The internalized message of being insignificant becomes difficult to shake. Here's the truth they never understood: dehumanization only works if you allow it. They underestimated the resilience of the human spirit, your spirit. Even though they may have stripped away comfort, love, and perhaps even hope for a while, they could never fully erase what makes you you. The essence of who you are, the light within you, could never be extinguished, no matter how much they tried to stamp it out. The story of Job in the Bible provides a powerful example of this. Job was stripped of everything: his health, his wealth, his family, but he never lost his faith in God. In Job 19:25-26, he declares, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God." Despite the immense suffering and dehumanization he faced, Job's spirit remained unbroken. Could it be that your own trials are shaping you into someone stronger than you ever realized? Rising from this kind of darkness isn't easy. It's not something that happens overnight. The road to reclaiming your humanity, to rediscovering your true self, is long and often filled with setbacks. But remember this: you are already on that road. Every moment you endure, every challenge you face, you are getting closer to the truth of who you really are. You are not broken. You are being remade, and with every trial, you become more unshakable. Your spirit, like Job's, is being refined in the fire. And no matter what they did, no matter how they tried to strip you down, you are rising, and you will stand tall. Your light cannot be extinguished. It will shine brighter than ever before. Every step you take toward healing, toward embracing your worth and your voice, is an act of rebellion against the sickness that sought to break you. You were never meant to be silenced. You were never meant to shrink. You were meant to rise, to reclaim what was always yours: your true identity, your power, your purpose. The world may try to dim your light, but it can never put it out. You are a force to be reckoned with, and the journey you are on will lead you to places beyond your wildest dreams. Keep going, keep rising, because no one can stop what has already been set in motion. You are living proof that even the most malicious attempts to destroy someone can fail. They tried to erase you, to make you disappear. But here you are, You are still standing. That alone is more powerful than anything they could have imagined. Your survival is a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit, your spirit, which can never truly be broken. As Romans 8:37 reminds us, no. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Your victory is already written in the strength you've shown by simply continuing to exist. There is something about your resilience that defies logic, something that baffles even those who tried their hardest to break you. They thought they had you cornered, shattered, or completely destroyed. They threw everything they could at you: manipulation, cruelty, isolation, believing that this would be the thing that finally made you crumble. And for a moment, maybe you did. Maybe you doubted yourself. Maybe you fell. Perhaps you even stayed down longer than you wanted to. But here's the thing. You got back up. And that's exactly what terrifies them. It's not just that you survived. It's that you refused to stay broken. Have you ever wondered why they couldn't just let you be? Could it be that your resilience threatens everything they believe about themselves? They can't understand it because it's not a strength they possess. Those who try to destroy others do so from a place of fear and weakness. They project their own insecurities onto you, hoping that by breaking you, they can feel more powerful. But when you rise again stronger, wiser, and more determined than before, it leaves them stunned. They can't comprehend how you can withstand what they thought would defeat you. They can't fathom how you can still stand tall after everything they've thrown at you. But this is exactly why they fail. Your resilience exposes something they desperately don't want to face: their own fragility. It forces them to confront the fact that, deep down, they know they wouldn't survive the same trials you've endured. That realization eats away at them. Have you ever wondered if their attempts to tear you down were really about them, not you? What if the hatred of your strength is simply a reflection of their own weaknesses? The more you thrive, the more baffled they become. They will hold on to their bitterness, telling themselves that it's unfair, that you were just lucky or favored. But deep down, they know the truth. They underestimated you. They thought they controlled your fate, that they could dictate your ending. But all they did was set the stage for your greatest comeback. And nothing terrifies an abuser more than the proof that they never truly had power over you. Your story is not defined by their actions. It is defined by your ability to rise again and again in spite of everything they threw at you. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery and cast aside. Yet despite the cruelty he faced, he rose to power in Egypt, becoming second only to Pharaoh. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph says to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that what others intend to destroy, God uses to shape something greater. Your story is the same. The more they tried to break you, the stronger you became, and that's something they could never understand. They will never fully grasp it, but you know. And that knowledge, that strength, will carry you forward to the fulfillment of your purpose. Keep rising. The Apostle Paul provides another example of resilience in the face of suffering. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4:8-9, he writes, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." Paul's words capture the essence of true resilience: being pressed and persecuted, but never defeated. No matter how many times you've been knocked down, you have the power to get back up because you are not crushed. The strength you carry within is a divine strength, just as Paul's was, just as Jesus's was. Finally, think of the story of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane before his crucifixion. He prayed earnestly, knowing the suffering he would face. In Matthew 26:39, he said, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Jesus faced the ultimate trial, but his faith, his purpose, and his strength enabled him to rise again. Your resilience, your unyielding will to stand tall after every trial, is the very thing that defines your greatness. It is proof that you are more than what they tried to make you. It is the testimony of your soul's strength, a force that will not be broken. So keep rising, keep standing. You are a force that cannot be stopped. You are more than a conqueror. Jesus, in his humanity, knew the weight of what he would endure, yet he rose to fulfill his purpose. He embraced his trials, knowing they were part of his greater mission. Similarly, your trials have a purpose, a divine purpose, and you too have the strength to rise and fulfill your calling. Your resilience is proof that you are not defined by what others do to you, but by how you choose to respond. You are the living evidence that even when life tries to crush you, you have the strength to stand up again and show the world your true power. And that, more than anything, terrifies those who thought they could control you. As Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Your strength is not your own. It is a divine strength that the world cannot break. Being chosen means you don't merely exist in the world, you reflect it. You become a mirror for everyone around you. Whether they realize it or not, your presence alone can unsettle people because it forces them to confront truths about themselves they would rather ignore. It's not something you do intentionally. It's simply who you are. But for many, that reflection can be more than they can bear. When people look at you, they don't just see you, they see what they are not. Your drive highlights their complacency. Your courage underscores their fear, and your resilience reminds them of the excuses they've made. Have you ever noticed how some people react strongly to your mere presence? Even though you've done nothing to provoke them, it's because your very existence forces them to reckon with things they'd rather keep hidden. This is why chosen ones often face hostility and criticism. It's not really about you. It's about what you represent. You embody everything they wish they could be, but don't have the courage to confront in themselves. Your very being challenges their comfort zones, making them feel exposed and vulnerable. When people are unwilling to face their own darkness, it's easier to project their insecurities, anger, and frustrations onto you than to face the uncomfortable truths within. Do you ever feel like you are being blamed for things that have nothing to do with you? Could it be that instead of truly seeing you, they are seeing a reflection of everything they are trying to avoid? Take the story of King Saul and David from the Bible. Saul, the king, was deeply troubled by David's growing favor and success. In 1 Samuel chapter 18, 8-9, Saul becomes enraged and begins to see David not as a person, but as a threat to his own sense of power. Saul was very angry. This refrain galled him. They have credited David with tens of thousands, he thought. But me with only thousands, what more can he get? But the kingdom? Saul's insecurities and jealousy clouded his perception of David, turning a young man's success into a perceived threat. In the same way, your growth, your light, and your strength can make others uncomfortable because it exposes their own fears, doubts, and shortcomings. The more you rise, the more others may try to pull you down, not because of who you are, but because of what your presence forces them to confront in themselves. Know this: your greatness is not a threat to you. It is a reflection of everything you were meant to be. You are meant to rise. And no matter how many times they try to suppress your light, you cannot be hidden. Your journey is yours alone to walk, and every step you take toward your destiny is a victory in itself. Keep shining. Keep rising. You are a force the world has yet to fully understand, but they will. Keep standing tall, for the world needs your light now more than ever. Fear caused Saul to project hostility onto David, not because David had wronged him, but because David's success mirrored Saul's own shortcomings. David was simply being himself. Yet Saul saw that as an affront to his own inadequacies. Could it be that, like Saul, some people in your life have treated you unfairly simply because your presence forces them to see their own weaknesses? Being a mirror is lonely. It's a role that isolates you, even though you may not have asked for it. The very thing that makes you special, the light you carry, also causes others to feel uncomfortable in your presence. People may misjudge you, resent you, or even hate you not for anything you've done, but for the truths you reveal about them. It's a difficult position to be in, especially when the world tells you that you should hide your light rather than risk making others uncomfortable. But here's the hard truth: you were never meant to hide your light. In Matthew 5:14-16, Jesus tells us, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." Your light isn't meant to be hidden because it makes others uncomfortable. The world needs mirrors, even if people are unwilling to look at their reflection. For every person who rejects what they see in you, there will be another who is inspired to face their own reflection and make the necessary changes to grow. You are a reflection of the divine power within you. Don't dim your light. Let it shine not just for yourself, but for those who need it most. Embrace your purpose, knowing that the light you carry is exactly what the world needs. It is not meant to be hidden, but to illuminate, to challenge, and to inspire. Keep shining. Keep rising. Let the world see your greatness. This is the true power of being chosen. Your presence forces transformation. Whether or not others accept it, you are fulfilling a divine purpose by simply being yourself. You are a living testament to the power of self-awareness and change, and your light will shine through even when it's difficult. As 2 Corinthians 3:18 says, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." By reflecting the truth of who you are, you offer others the chance to be transformed as well, even when they don't want to see it. Your light is still doing its work. Seeing the truth is both a gift and a curse. The deeper your trial, the sharper your vision becomes. Through your pain, you've gained an unsettling clarity about the world, how people operate, the lies they tell to survive, and the systems built on corruption and control. This awareness doesn't come without a price. The more you see, the harder it becomes to relate to those who remain blind to it. Most people live in comfortable illusions, carefully curated to protect them from confronting the harsh realities of their lives. They don't want to see the truth about themselves, their relationships, or the world around them. But for you, once the truth is revealed, it cannot be unseen. The weight of this understanding often feels heavy. You notice the manipulations behind smiles, the fear disguised as authority, the selfishness buried beneath so-called acts of selflessness. Have you ever felt like you were seeing a reality that others refuse to acknowledge? Can you feel the isolation that comes with knowing truths that others can't or won't accept? It's not that you want to see these things. They simply are there, glaringly obvious to someone who has lived through the hardest of trials. You've walked through darkness, and now that you've emerged, the light shines too brightly for you to ignore the shadows. This clarity often isolates you. It's hard to explain to others what you've come to understand. But remember, your awareness is a gift. The strength it gives you to navigate the world and your purpose to stand as a beacon is something few will ever fully understand. The world may try to silence you, to make you doubt the truths you've uncovered, but your light will always speak louder than their fear. Keep shining, even if it feels lonely. For every soul you awaken, every heart you inspire, your light will ripple out in ways you cannot yet see when you try. They might dismiss you as cynical, paranoid, or even delusional. They don't want to see what you see because the truth is heavy. It forces them to confront things they aren't ready to face. In John 3:19-20, Jesus says, "This is the verdict: light has come into the world, but people loved darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed." Just like this passage, many people avoid the truth because it exposes what they are trying to keep hidden. So you walk alone, burdened by knowledge that separates you from the crowd. This loneliness, however, is also what sets you apart. By seeing through the lies, you've become a beacon, someone who can guide others out of the fog, even if they resist. At first, you may not have asked for this role, but it's yours. In Matthew 5:14-16, Jesus tells us, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." Your clarity makes you a lighthouse in the darkness. Though the world may not always appreciate your light, it is still necessary. Your understanding of the truth, as uncomfortable as it may be, is exactly what the world needs. Without it, the lies would continue unchecked, and the sickness of deception would spread further. The isolation you feel is a mark of your strength, not a weakness. It's a sign that you are capable of seeing beyond the surface, of holding on to the light even when the world around you prefers the shadows. Think of the story of the prophet Elijah in the Bible. Elijah lived during a time when Israel was deeply entrenched in idolatry and sin, and his message was one that no one wanted to hear. Yet, despite the rejection and hostility, Elijah remained steadfast in his calling. He saw the truth about Israel's spiritual condition, and his role was to expose that truth. He did not hide from the darkness, nor did he shy away from the uncomfortable truths he was called to speak. Elijah's story is a powerful reminder that being chosen often means standing alone, speaking the truth that others refuse to hear. It is a path marked by resistance, but also by the knowledge that your calling is divine and necessary. Like Elijah, you may feel isolated. You are a vital part of a greater purpose, shining the light where others are too afraid to go. Keep standing in your truth, for you are more than just a beacon of light. You are the truth in a world that desperately needs it. In 1 Kings 19:10, Elijah says to God, "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, torn down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and now they're trying to kill me too." Elijah's story is one of loneliness and isolation. but it is also a testimony to the power of holding on to the truth. Even when it feels like you are standing alone, you may feel like you're walking a solitary path. Remember this. Your clarity and ability to see through the lies are the very things that can transform others. As uncomfortable as the truth can be, it is a light in the darkness that the world desperately needs. Your resilience in carrying it is not just a burden, it is a gift that has the power to change lives. In the end, your loneliness is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to the strength and truth you carry. What many fail to understand about you is that your strength is not a gift, it's a burden. People look at you and see someone who has it all together, someone who overcomes everything with ease. But the truth is, it's not always easy. Your strength is born from the struggles, the trials, and the knowledge that others refuse to see. It is forged in the crucible of isolation and rejection, but it is the very thing that makes you a force of transformation, and that is your power. You are the light that cannot be extinguished. Keep shining, keep standing strong, and let the world see the truth you carry. Even if they don't want to, the truth will come, and when it does, it will be because you refuse to hide it. Every ounce of that strength came at a price. You didn't ask for this path. You didn't choose to be the one who had to endure the pain, the struggles, and the constant challenges. This path chose you, and with it came scars that most people can't even fathom. Have you ever wondered why others don't see the toll it takes on you? Only the strength that comes from it. Could it be that they only admire what they don't understand and never see the burden of what you've had to endure to survive? Strength is often romanticized. People admire it from a distance, envy it, and believe it comes easily to those who possess it. But what they don't realize is that true strength is built on the foundation of suffering. Each time you rose from the ashes, it was because you were burned. Every battle you fought left marks that can never fully heal. You carry them, not as trophies of victory, but as painful reminders of the cost of your survival. The Apostle Paul, in 2 Corinthians 12, speaks of his own struggle. But he says, "But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses so that the power of Christ may rest upon me.'" Paul understood that true strength isn't about avoiding suffering. It's about embracing it and finding power in the midst of it. Does that resonate with you? Have you found strength in the broken places of your life? Even when others couldn't see it, it's not easy to be strong when the world constantly expects it from you. There's this unspoken belief that people like you don't break, don't struggle, don't need help. But the truth is, your strength comes from having been broken and pieced together more times than you care to count. Every time you've been pushed to the edge, you've had to find a way to hold on. And even when you felt like giving up, something deep within you refused to quit, as Psalm 34:18 reminds us. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. It's in those moments of brokenness that your true strength is forged. Not because you are immune to pain, but because you rise from it time and time again. Your resilience is forged in pain, not privilege. You fight because you have no choice. Life doesn't give you the option to turn back or sit still. It pushes you forward, whether you are ready or not, and with every victory, there's always another challenge ahead. People see the strength, but they don't see the burden behind it. They don't see the quiet exhaustion, the weight you carry, or the moments of doubt that you push through because there's simply no other option. It can feel like you're expected to be unbreakable. But in reality, your strength is what has been created from your breaking. Your story isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about enduring them and emerging stronger each time. This journey wasn't chosen by you, it was thrust upon you. And while you carry it, you also understand that the strength you possess isn't just a reflection of your survival. It's a testament to the battles others never had to face. Your strength speaks to the resilience that many will never understand. It's not a gift given to you because you were special. It's something you've earned, day by day, through the fires of life. Just like Job in the Bible, whose trials were overwhelming but ultimately led to greater blessings. Your strength is not just about surviving, but about transforming through your suffering. As Job 42:5 says, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." The trials you faced have opened your eyes to a deeper understanding of your own strength. And that is something no one can ever take away from you. Your journey may have been painful, but it has equipped you with a power that can never be diminished. You are living proof that the hardest paths forge the strongest souls. Keep moving forward. Your strength, born of struggle, is the key to unlocking a future more powerful than you've yet imagined. Keep rising, for every trial has shaped you into a force that cannot be stopped. There's a power in forgiveness that most people will never fully understand. It's not about letting your abusers off the hook or pretending that what was done to you didn't matter. No, it's about reclaiming something they tried to steal from you, your peace. The real power of forgiveness lies in transcending the hurt, not for their sake, but for your own. It's a radical act, one that flips the script on everything they tried to make you feel. Have you ever wondered how your healing could be in your hands, not theirs? Forgiveness isn't about releasing them from their actions. It's about releasing yourself from the grip of their control. When you forgive, you are not excusing their actions. You are refusing to let them control you any longer. Every time you hold on to hatred or bitterness, you are giving them power over you. They continue to exist in your mind, shaping your thoughts and emotions even long after the abuse has stopped. But when you choose forgiveness not as a gift to them, but as an act of liberation for yourself, you break those chains. You release the hold they've had on your soul. Have you felt that weight, the heaviness of holding on to past pain? What if letting go of that burden could free you in ways you never imagined? Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means acknowledging the pain, confronting the damage, and then making the conscious decision to let go. It's the ultimate rejection of the power they thought they had over you. By forgiving, you take back control. You decide that the past will not dictate your future, that the wounds they inflicted will not define who you are. In Ephesians 4:31-32, we are urged, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ." God forgave you. This act of forgiveness, rooted in grace, is about reclaiming the peace and power that was always yours. Have you ever thought about forgiveness in these terms, not as something you do for them, but as something you do for your own freedom? This is what makes forgiveness revolutionary. It's a declaration of your own strength. It says that you are bigger than the pain they caused you. You are not their victim. You are your own person, free to move forward. Think of the story of Joseph in the Bible. After being sold into slavery by his brothers, Joseph had the power to seek revenge, yet he chose to forgive them. In Genesis 50:19-21, he says, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." Joseph's forgiveness wasn't just for the sake of his brothers. It was an act of liberation for himself, freeing him from the chains of bitterness. His act of forgiveness changed the course of his family's future. It's the kind of power that terrifies those who tried to destroy you, because the moment you forgive, you break free from their control over you. You take back your peace and your power. This is why forgiveness is not a weakness. It's one of the greatest acts of strength. It is not a gift to your abuser. It's a gift to yourself. It allows you to move forward, to live your life in freedom, and to rise above the pain that was once inflicted upon you. You are no longer bound by their actions, and that is the ultimate victory. Keep forgiving, not for them, but for you. Keep reclaiming your peace. You are free.